new day in the Southern Ocean and we're in a nice sheltered bay at the moment, Billy, but weather report tells us it's going to blow up later on in the day, and we are going to head out because the crew of Why Not Charters have told us there's plenty of southern bluefin tuna kicking around, and while trolling for those fish is a popular approach around here, we're trying something a bit different today. We're armed with some stick baits, poppers, and some really tough popping rods, and I know you've been hanging for a long time to test out your popping skills. I think today, pretty good day to do it.
Get out there and give it a go.
Yep. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Massive patch of birds sitting on top of a big bunch of southern blues. I've chucked a Seville stick bait in the middle of it. I don't think I actually got to the reel handle for the first clunk. I missed the first fish and I got 2 more twitches. Saw a big barrel come out and smash it. That is awesome. The boys have just let a flurry of stick baits loose in the background and they're drag screaming everywhere. And this is what happens when you find a good patch of southern blues. Got the perfect weapon for throwing these stick baits at the moment. One of the Wilson's popping rods. They're brilliant weapons for throwing your big stick baits, your big cup face poppers. Give you distance, leverage, especially when you start fighting a fish. Around a boat like this, I can steer it, put it exactly where I want. Yeah, look at the fish, look at the tuna, look at them with it. Look at these. Billy, they're here. That's what's done the damage. 155 Seville sinking stick bait. They sink very subtly in the water, horizontally. Looks all a part of a wounded and dying bait fish, which is what all these schooled up southern blues are tuning in to eat at the moment. Put the right presentation in front of them. It's chaotic very, very quickly. There we go. Very well. Sinking paws.
Floaters, yeah, that's right. Ignoring the floaters.
Well, sinking paws does it because it just tunes them in that something's wounded. And they're all hunting around looking for an easy prey. Stickbait looks exactly like the easiest meal that they've had all day.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to use your rod here, Billy. On the boat, Billy. Go to the corner. Going through, boys.
Kilos Uzi southern bluefin on the cast. Never done that before.
I told you the stick baits work well on them.
Yeah, great.
That is just mayhem to be casting and retrieving. It's great fun to catch them on the troll because they fight like absolute troopers, but to be able to cast, twitch, retrieve and just have them pile it into a lure and rip drag like that is a brilliant experience. Spear time, I'm getting back. Well done, Billy. What's working really well today is just pointing the rod tip at the fish, giving 5 or 10 quick winds to stimulate that lure before pausing and letting it sink again. Other days when you want that lure really whizzing through the water, you can bring the rod into play, which means you use big sweeping arcs to shoot that lure up towards the surface of the water before you pause it. So reel and rod are both really good tools for making that lure work in different ways. You just got to tune into what they want, vary those retrieves until you start getting the bites. There he goes. 2 twitches. He's about to wake up. Yep, here we go. These rods and lures, absolute weapons in this situation. Bunched up schooling fish, feeding on wounded bait fish, be able to put that wounded imitation in front of them with a rod as chunky and as long as this. Brilliant fun. Helps you knock them over pretty quick too. Well, usually. Whew. Oh. Once again, the beauty of an extended rod, just to keep that braided line away from the boat. It's only one thing that's going to end the battle. Well, 2 things. I pull a hook, all your line's going to contact the boat, so to be able to have that leverage, get a rod out there away from the boat, This helps you get fish to the boat. That fish is thought, I'll have you, just didn't expect on the 6 trebles. 6 treble hook points hanging out of it. That's what all the fuss is about. Southern bluefin tuna. I've caught their cousins, the northern blues. I reckon they go just as hard and they suckers for a well-presented lure, just like the old Seville stickbait. And as the boys are telling me in the background, they reckon they taste better as well. I'm a Queenslander, so we might sort it out over dinner tonight. I'll get him back in the water. Let him fight another day. And there's truckloads of them in the background chewing away. I'm back for another, I'm not tired enough yet.
A lot of people too say casting poppers is a bit like cage fighting in fishing. So you can go around behind me now, mate.
Means that if you get too close to the dangerous end, you get hurt at high velocity. It's another neat thing too, Billy. You know, we're casting big lures at high speed, which means you want a really good leader knot that runs through guides, and you also want a rod with nice thick guide system. So we've got these Wilson's popper rods, and they've given us those big guides, and we've combined that with a really nice slim line FG leader knot. And it just makes the casting process that much easier. You get the distance, you don't damage yourself.
Poppering, here we come.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Oh!
Yep, look at that here on the popper.
You got a cranky one, Billy? Pull out, just there.
And on the popper.
The double-handed approach. Billy's got the big Seville splasher. I got the sinking stick baits. There's you. Get them tuned in, they're eating off the top and on the sinking ones. Oh. Mate of mine caught in the factory, tells me some of the things he does with these rods. It's beyond belief when they test them out. He says it's almost cruel to do it to rods, but they do make a ferociously strong product. Oh. When you're doing a fish under your boat, you can start to steer them to the point where you can land them. Oh, hurry out. Oh.
Got a bit of colour there,
There
Nine.
we go. Good fish. One of the predators of the Southern Ocean you find down here around the Great Australian Bight. It's one of the reasons we came out with the crew from Why Not Charters. One of these species was definitely on the list of targets, and I so badly wanted to hook them on stick baits. Mission accomplished.
That's hit that popper and it's been hooked in the gill plate, back of the body, to just smash the popper on the top. Well, there you go, mate. First in the popper for me. Just hooked in the gill plate, so it's obviously come up on the top of that lure, just jumped all over it and just got hooked and taken off.
We're getting absolutely slammed in the Southern Ocean, but I'll still tune in to stuff splashing on the surface, and that's the Seville 152 splasher. Great little lure for these Southern Ocean predators, mate, and it's getting pretty ugly out here.
I know, it's getting...
I reckon that might be all over for us. We've had fun with the stick baits and the splashes. We've got sashimi.
Good on
Time
you.
for us to get ahead of you.
It's Bill Klassen here from The Fishing Show, and if you like this instructional video and want to learn more, it's simple. Go to fishingshowtv.com.au and see a whole host of additional videos.